schools, and I like I spoke with Dennis about, we're all well-intentioned, and I was well-intentioned also. But part of moving data, we have to find a better strategy to do it. And I realized that I had to get smarter about instruction and what we were asking young teachers to do. So a couple of things that we, like, and I think I spoke with Dennis around it. There's a book called Driven by Data by Uncommon School. And I shared with Dennis, I said, I'm not driven by data. I'm driven by strategy. Then you show me your strategy, and then 3 to 5 years later, I can tell you what your data will be. So what we started to do was, and I actually, like I said, I look at data, but I don't really look at data. What I do is I really start to look at and really try to unpack our strategy. And I want to show you some of our documents that we used here. So the first thing I said, all my kids are failing. So I had 17%. I was in the teens. So I said, do I focus on RTI or do I focus on whole group? And I said, yeah, we got to do some RTI work, but the issue is big. If we don't get better at whole group instruction, we're not going to go anywhere because we're going to always triage kids. So we got to get our teachers stronger in whole group instruction. And I'm going to show you in a second how we do that and the tool we use to do that. And then I said I have to create key design elements in every department. So I can't just say find the right curriculum. We got to find real strong strategies that really define what our departments are about. So regardless of the curriculum, our teachers know how to teach and they know what's important and most impactful. And then the last thing I said, I have to increase teacher content knowledge. There's a lot of teachers, especially in reading and writing instruction, that really don't know how to teach it. They really haven't learned, and we know that college is not teaching this. So I had to find the best and brightest to really educate our teachers really how to become stronger content teachers. So this was kind of my approach to doing it. And then I flip everything backwards. One thing I said is, I know every school has Saturday academies for struggling students. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I actually flipped it. I actually did my most promising students and put them in Saturday school. And the reason why I did that is because I said the most motivated kids, they're going to be motivated on Saturday. And that's how we got kids into really top Ivy League schools. Because we called them our Saturday, our weekend rollers. And for the struggling kids, we said we have to get the week right for them. If the week is not right for them, then Saturday is just another place of failure. And that's what I felt like we were doing. We were creating this space.
Oh, something happened. And I don't want the info. What's connecting? There's info on there.
If there is.
Turn it on me. Yeah, I guess my connection is bummed today. Yeah, my little man chilling. I ain't gonna lie, what I just was seeing was fly. You saw that? He sits in on me with the Zooms, with the principals. He's already in school. I'm telling y'all, if you ever stay home be a stay-home dad, that shit is fun as hell. You know what I'm saying?
7 categories with 7 practices under it that's going to make teachers stronger. So the categories are teacher clarity, asking effective questions, connections and investment, teacher-student work ratio, inquiry, cooperative learning and discourse, and strategic decision-making and feedback. So these are our 7 categories that make up our instructional tactics, and under each tactic, you have 7 practices that teachers can do. And we find that these are the most impactful things to move student achievement. So we created a document that we feel, in our opinion, moves away a lot of the fluff around what teachers can do in a classroom. And we say focus on these things because we know this moves achievement. So this is our instruction tactics document. I'll pause there and see if there's any questions about this document here.
Hello, this is Principal Williams. I absolutely love what you have.
Your hands up.
Oh, sorry.
That way I can bring you up.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Treasurer.
Okay, I'm absolutely impressed. Let me start there. I think what you have done for your school is just absolutely amazing. I have a question though. When you said something about you felt like Danielson framework it didn't mesh well with your teachers. So with your instructional, I guess, effective practices, how did you rally the team? Like, how did you guys come together to come, just to create that?
So it was a 2-person show that created it. So I just met with my assistant principal. We did a lot of research, did a lot of work around with, I believe, John Hattie around the work with most effective practices.
Okay.
We looked at Danielson, what Danielson was saying. We looked at Teach Like a Champion. We looked at all the then we did research on the most effective practices that really move instruction. And we just made a decision around this is how instruction in our school is going to look. And we just said our kids were on fire. One of the things, we didn't have time for buy-in to say, is this right? We needed something, and this is a document that actually it's a living, breathing document. So it looks much different than it did 2 years ago. And we just started getting smarter about it and kicking it around to other educators, saying, what are we missing here? What are we missing here? Are these the most important practices within this thing? And so, to answer your question, we started as a 2-person show, but then we started getting collaborative around it to make it better.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely love to talk with you further, because I need something to kind of motivate my school community at this time. So I definitely like what you've done so far with your school community.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Shine. Thank you, Keish. So, Trav, I know you got a few more things you want to show. I want definitely let you finish up, and then from there, I'm gonna open up the floor to more Q&A for you, right?
Okay.
But for those who didn't get to see it, I'm rocking the. Listen, I got members of the home team here and here. All right, so go ahead, Trav. Thank you.
Man, yeah, love it. So then what I'll show you when I talk about key design elements, I'm just going to share this document. I charged all the heads of my department and said, we got to get very clear about what our departments are about. So we worked with a consultant named Ted Fujimoto. He created over 100 schools throughout the nation, and he always spoke about one thing that resonated with me. He said, the problem with schools is that they design to fail. We focus on the most struggling kids, and we think the whole school is going to get better. So we always start schools talking about, here's my struggling kids, but we never look at the desired state. So one of the things that I charged my instructional leaders, I said, in a perfect school, what does instruction look like? Let's try to get there instead of designing from the bottom and trying to build up. So I'm just going to show you an example. This is the key design elements for our ELA team. And I'm going to get you out of it. But what I charged them to do is almost like the tactics document, is to say, what are the 5 to 7 things that your department mostly about? So in K-8 humanities, it's about knowledge-rich curriculum, inquiry and curiosity, language and word study, explicit reading and writing instruction, collaboration, discourse, and student voice. It says nothing about a curriculum. This is curriculum agnostic. This is what we have to get teachers better at home. And these are the things that we have to do. And then they put in here the effective practices of these departments. So the document, and then the document goes on and explains what each of these things are and how it breaks down the systems and protocols and things like that. But we got to get really smart and have a point of view. And that's one thing my coach has always pushed me to say, do you have a clear point of view about what writing instruction looks like, what math instruction looks like, what social studies instruction looks like? So this is our key, this is an example of us getting really clear on what instruction looks like in our school. And it's not about a curriculum. It's about how we do, it's about our how we do business. So with the instructional tactics that I just showed before, and also the key design elements in all the subject areas, it gives us a crystal clear picture of what instruction looks like. Not for the struggling kids, not for the middle kids, but for all kids. And it pushes us to see where we need to get to. And this is desired state. This is not about, kids that are failing. And this is what we apply everywhere, because we realize that our failing kids in our instance, they were failing because they weren't taught well, not because they were struggling learners in the most part. So those were two big key areas. I'm gonna go back that I wanted to share there. So I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint and then go with staff culture. One of the things that, and I'm just gonna share this, and after staff culture, I'm done, I promise. One of the things that my coaches always shared with me, and I see it in Dennis and the principals that are here, and that's why I feel like this is my tribe. Because someone told me one time, Travis, your school is like a car, it's like a Ferrari. When somebody gives you the keys, just drive that thing at 100 miles per hour until somebody comes and get the keys. That's what they told me to do, and go after everything you want. So I'm crazy about talent. I don't complain. I break rules to find the best people. So when people talk about a science like a science problem, I find 90% K-12 of my science teachers are winning, and that's on purpose. And 90% of them are women of color. So when we talk about my head of science, Korean American. When we talk about my biology teacher, Jamaican one. When we have it all the way through. And I mean, they got degrees from UCLA, science department, from everywhere. And we just go crazy about it. I got some tricks that I can share with everybody to really bolster up some talent, but that's really big for us. You see the hat me and Dennis have on here? One of the things when we say rowers only, we tell people at the gate, do not come to the school unless you're ready to row and do something epic. Please don't come here. It's not for you. We don't want teachers. We want somebody that wants to create a body of work that they can look back in 5 years and say, I did something amazing for Bronx kids. And we have a very lovely, nice hiring process, which is very fun about how tough it is to work here. And the last thing that we live and die by, about it. This is the only thing that people get hired. This is the only thing that people will get fired for breaking these things here. And this is the thing that people, I'm always talking about these values. And always. And then when you do that, we create this crazy environment. We love on our people. So if you see here, they call this my cigar room, but this is actually a teacher's lounge. Everybody thinks that's like my cigar room. This is my teacher's lounge. How you doing, Thea? I just think I told this story. I don't know if you remember about me being wrong and strong a long time ago. I don't know if you remember that. But this is what we do for our staff to make sure that they're taken care of. And then for my leadership team, I make sure they read everything. They don't read school books. Sometimes school books are written by people who never built amazing companies. So they read everything. And
Travis, I missed you telling a story. I was muted. I just unmuted.
Oh, you set me down a long time ago. I'm not going to say what it's about. And you told me I was trying to make excuses. And you said, one thing you need to know is that you can't be wrong and strong. That sounds like you, right?
Yes.
Sounds like you, right?
It absolutely does.
Because I was 28 years old and I was wrong and strong and fear. I was like, okay, I got you. But I got my act together, I think. But the last thing is, whether we are district school, public school, charter school, there's people there, there are processes, there's procedures. The smarter we get about business, the smarter our kids will get. So I really push my staff to read about people who have failed, led, moved organizations, know what change management is about. These are some of my favorite books, and we apply these principles to our school building really to inspire people, but also to inspire change. And I think over the last 5 years, we've moved to a place where we're happy. And like I said, we have more level 4s in mathematics than we have level 1s. That's an amazing feat. Our students with IEPs are crushing it. So I think it's working, and I think that the last thing I'll leave this group of amazing principals with is do it. One day they're gonna come for the keys for the Ferrari. Drive that thing 150 miles per hour. Like, we got to do whatever we need to do for our young people. Thank you for your time, and if there are any questions, I'm open to share any resources that make sense with people. But Dennis, thank you again for the opportunity in this platform.
My man. Thanks, Trav. Thank you. Dr. Action. So let us know what you want to do, Doc. We know we gotta bring Fia back up.
Yeah, no, Fia has her hands up. I'm gonna bring our hosts back on with Travis, and I'm gonna bring Fia. Fia has a question.
Can I say something, Dr. Action, before?
You're the host. That's why I'm bringing you back up. I'm looking for your co-host. Are you here?
I'm here. No, she's there.
I'll go after Rochelle. Go ahead.
Travis, I just want to say you did an amazing job presenting. It was such a pleasure to see your school building virtually. I can't wait to come see it in person. You're such an inspiration and the definition of Black excellence. Thank you for what you're doing for our kids of color in the Bronx. And, I thought I was doing it in Brooklyn. I definitely got to step my game up because I rebranded, I did all this stuff, but my building is nothing like that. So I definitely have ways to go, and I just want to thank you so much for presenting. You did a great job.
I appreciate it. None of these are my ideas. I just steal from everybody. So with that data stuff that we did like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm on it. I just got from everyone. I'm on it. Yeah.
Love it.
Can I just say, Travis, this is actually I know you've been on OSG for a while, but I don't think I've actually heard you speak, or maybe I was just not in the room when you were speaking. But I've been hearing so many amazing things about you, and your work and your passion just kind of shines through as you are speaking. So you are doing amazing things. And I think Kyle said in the chat that in his head, Ron Clark is a mentor in his head, and I'm thinking now, like, we can go to your school instead of going all the way to Georgia to Ron Clark Academy. We could definitely go to your school because I just see so many, just even though we didn't hear the kids speak, you could just see the culture coming through the video, and you can see the love and the enjoyment. And I want to come to your school. So I don't know when the OSG yellow bus is going to the Bronx, but I definitely want to take the trip out there because I think there's so many things that we have learned just in this, short 20 minutes, and I want to hear more and learn more from you. So thank you so much for sharing.
Well, Marissa, I'll just jump in and say one thing, Marissa.
Yes.
I was there, and I could tell you what you guys saw. It's just think about how much better it would be if you were able to see this stuff in person. I was literally floored when I saw it. And the funny part about Trav is, Trav is low key about everything. And I was like, B, what are you doing? Like, we better get some video cameras in and start taking some pictures because the world needs to see this. And it literally, I know exactly where he is in the Bronx. It's over there, not too far from where Asia's at. That part of the Bronx right there is when you talk about poverty, you're talking about marginalized communities, when you talk about underserved communities, that's exactly what Trav has to fight against every single day. So I'm telling you, when you see it for yourself, you will be so thrilled to know that you don't got to go all the way down to Atlanta to see it. You go right there in the Bronx to see it. So congratulations on that, Trav.
Travis, I have one question. Were you the founding principal there, or did you follow another leader and kind of transformed it on your own?
Yeah, great question. It opened in 2005, and I joined 2015. So the elementary school had 11 principals in about that span. So yeah, I was brought in to turn it around. I was with Pitts, and then I saw this opportunity, and I came over because it was a blank canvas. And the building looked strange, and I said, and the one thing, my mentor, she told me, she said, go in there and tell the board that you need control. So it's the first time I didn't even interview. I took charge. I said, look, you got to give me 7 years. If you give me 7 years, I'm going to gonna show you something that you've never seen before. I promise you. So I'm going into year 7. So, hopefully they believe. Hopefully they believe what I believe. But I just always took it like I have to do it for the young people. But to answer your question, I was the 12th principal of the school. Yeah.
And if I can make just one suggestion, similar to what Ron Clark does, because I know that he does sessions, like 4 times out of the year or 3 times out of the year, where groups of teachers can go and visit and learn from his staff and from him. And so maybe that might be something you might consider doing, because it seems like you guys have so many amazing treasures to share.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's the plan. I think we want to. The goal was to become a 90-90 school first, but we, because we really want to be a positive deviant in the community. So our charter goal says 75%, and that's what, we want to open up, but I want to be the person that, honestly, just me, to say, look, we took a school from 17% to 75%. And there are schools like that, like the school in the Bronx, the Walton School in the Bronx. They're like 94%. And I'm like, and they came from the team. So that's kind of where we are. That's one thing that COVID had hit us. We were on track to do 75%. Our numbers are showing. But we just want to be a proof point, because I'm just tired of people saying that our kids can't do it. They can learn to read. There's actually a science to it. And I think we have to make sure that our babies, it's sad that we have to use our babies to prove to adults that they can do it, but that's the world we live in, really. But we're going to keep figuring it out. And again, all I do is steal from other people. So let's keep sharing, so I can keep stealing and figuring this stuff out.
Thank you so much, Travis. I know Sis wanted to contribute to the conversation. Via Davis.
Absolutely. Look at my little sisters hosting. I love it. I'm so proud of them. Travis, hold the phone. I'm speechless. Like the submarine floor, the teacher's lounge, the welcoming entrance, cultivating joy in a school. If every principal could begin with cultivating joy, we would shift the experience for adults and children around learning. I'm so proud of you. I don't even remember that conversation fully, but when you said you can't be wrong and strong, I know I said that. Because that is one of them. I know I said that. It's one of my mantras and my pet peeves. You can't be wrong and strong. You got to do one or the other, but you can't come and be wrong and strong. But thank you for sharing this. Thank you for acknowledging that conversation and what it meant to you all those years ago. In my head, Marissa and Rochelle were there, because those were my little sisters, and I think I helped them with lesson plans like 10, 12 years ago. I feel like I did. And talk a little bit, if you will, Travis, about, I want to hear more about your hiring process, because people think that retention is about parking and where your school is and the location, and it's not at all about that. And so I want to hear a little bit more about this talent and the retention.
Yeah, I think the first thing we had to, we learned to grill the interviewers. So one of the things I realized is that if you look at